Well, good afternoon and welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are having a wonderful day today. For some, it's their first day back to work after their long vacation, and we know that that can be rather boring, depressing, because we all did enjoy our time off. But I wanted to come on here today because I watched a video earlier today. The video is like an hour and 7 minutes long, and I've only gotten through the first 34 minutes. The first 34 minutes was so powerful that I had to do this video, because as I was listening to this video, it kind of answered some questions that I had. For one, why does it seem like rational, intelligent, good-hearted people are still falling for the COVID narrative? Why do they ignore the facts and evidence when presented? You can't deny it. Here it is, but they still don't want to accept it. I had to take notes because this is very important. Why do they lash out when their views are challenged? Now, the other day I put out a video talking about the roundtable episode coming up, and I said something about the EXJW community lashing out at us because we went in this direction. And the question I had was, I don't understand why they are lashing out at us. Or I don't understand why some people that I had really good friendships with just cut me off because they just didn't want to accept some of the facts and stuff that I was presenting. And so one of my YouTube subscribers sent me a video, and there's got to be something said for, if you keep searching, you will find. And so when someone out of the blue sends me something like that, in my head, the universe is telling me I need to watch it. So maybe this is the reason why so many in the EXJW community especially are buying into the COVID narrative. Now, this video was done by a guy, his name is Matthias Dement. He's a doctor in Belgium. He deals with psychological stuff. And one of the questions was, has the core of everything that we've been seeing, has it all been psychological? And he said that he was upset with himself because it took him a while to figure out what was going on. When he had been speaking about it before, he's like, I can't believe it took me this long to figure it out. But this is what he presented, and I'm going to share it with you guys real quick. Now, I'm not a psychologist. I'm just giving you information that I saw that I felt was valuable. I'm going to put the link to the video in the description of this one so you guys can go watch it and listen to what he has to say and think about what he's saying and apply it to the people that you have in your life. One takeaway that I got from this was compassion. Having more compassion for people. When you show somebody some evidence of something and it's legit and it's true and it's honest and they still reject it, our first impulse is to say, oh my God, you're a stupid sheep. Have I called people sheep? Yes, I have. Have I called people, stupid for not doing research? In conversations, I have. But after looking at this, it gives me a bigger picture, and it helps me have more compassion for them. And that's the route that, everybody knows I'm about love, I'm about unity, and I'm trying to be more compassionate about things, and this has helped. So I wanted to share this with you real quick, and I got notes, so let me just kind of go through this real quick. It's called crowd formation or mass formation. And it says that these conditions must be in place first for this operation to work. And the first thing was lack of social bonds. Now, as I go through this, the only thing I could think about was XJWs. All right. So lack of social bonds is the first condition. Lack of connections with other people. For example, in the XJW community, there's people that have been disfellowshipped and they've lost all their friends and they've lost all their family and they have nobody that they can turn to. It says not able to connect emotionally with others. People that you relied on to be that emotional support is no longer there anymore. And there's what they call, there's a loneliness epidemic. There was a study done by Gallup before COVID hit that 50% of the U.S. population had no meaningful relationships in their life. That is sad. That is so sad. So that was the first thing, lack of social bonds. And we can see that, especially in the EXJW community. The second point was lack of meaning making. When there's no network, things seem meaningless. You know, us as human beings, we are social creatures. Lack of meaning was in their jobs. It was saying that 30% of the population, they just kind of just zombie their way through their job. It means nothing to them. They're just doing it because they need to have a paycheck. But things that they do, it really doesn't mean anything. It's like, who cares? I don't want to deal with that today. It's kind of a depressive thing. So lack of meaning was the second one. The third one, and the guy in the video, he goes a little further into that, but like I said, I'm just giving you the highlights. The third thing was high levels of free-floating anxiety. This is the kind of anxiety that is connected to a mental presentation. So, for example, in our first episode back on the roundtable, John talked about if you ran across a lion in your path, a lion, and your brain tells you that, oh my God, I need to run from this. And you get away, and then when you get away, you're like, yes, I was able to control that anxiety because I knew what I had to do. I needed to run away. This just a little example. This also says, when you don't have that, when that anxiety is connected to a mental presentation and that mental presentation isn't there, then people feel helpless. They don't know what they can run away from. So with this CV thing, people didn't know what to do. They didn't know, oh my God, I can't do this because I can't be around people because I might get sick. There was no evidence for that. But people just really didn't know what to do to get rid of their anxiety. And it says that 1 out of 5, and this is before COVID, 1 out of 5 were diagnosed with mental anxiety, not being able to connect their anxiety to what the real problem was. In Belgium, this guy pointed out that Belgium has a population of 11 million people, but each year 300 million doses of just antidepressants were prescribed to the Belgian people. And I looked back and I was thinking about all the people that were in Watchtower that I knew that were taking antidepressants. That's a huge industry for Big Pharma. And just people did not know how to handle this anxiety. And so when they're in that condition, they can easily be controlled. The fourth point was lots of free-floating frustration and aggression. Because of having a lack of social bond, because of having lack of meaning, because of having anxiety out the wazoo, there is aggression and frustration. It says they don't know why they feel this way, but they do feel it. And they look for that mental representation on a way to take out that aggression. And so, how does that come to play? Why is this a factor? Well, if the media tells you what to be upset about, people may be willing to take their frustrations out. The media comes out and says, oh, you need to put on masks, or oh, you need to do lockdowns. And these folks say, all right, yeah, we need to do this because it's going to help. It's going to make us a better citizen. They're trying to, as it says here, it says, because people will participate, a new social bond develops. And so because they're participating in the masks, because they're participating in the lockdowns, because they're participating in taking the vax, they feel like they are doing something good and it's helping them out mentally. I know it sounds crazy, but I can see that. And it says, because of this, let's see, solidarity. It says solidarily. You have to do this, you have to do that. We already talked about that. And it's not because they may believe in the narrative, but it creates a new social bond, something that they were lacking. And because they have this aggression and this frustration, they can take it out on the people who have chosen not to wear a mask, not to do the lockdowns, not to take the vax. So it gives them an outlet for their frustration and aggression. And so I think that is why folks like myself and others that we feel like, we're awake, why it feels like an uphill battle when talking to these folks. And, after watching that video, I was like, you know what? That explains to me what's going on in the EXJW community, because there are a lot of people that fall into that category and they just want to fit in. And so this is something, this mass formation thing, this is something that's been in their playbook for a long time. They've actually used it in Nazi Germany. They used it through the French Revolution. There was different ways that they used this. But anyway, so I just wanted to share that information because it was on my mind. I'm like, ooh, I got to get this out. And go check out the video and see what you think, and you draw your own conclusions. So I hope you enjoyed that little Cliff Note version of that. It just made a lot of sense to me. And that's the thing for me. Things have to make sense. And this makes complete sense to me why there are people that are just buying into the narrative. So anyway, there's that. Thank you so much to my YouTube subscribers and my Facebook followers for the comments on the last video I did about me being shadow banned, and the roundtable coming up with our episode on Saturday. And I really do believe that once we get further into some of our episodes that we're going to be doing, we're really trying to create a big picture for you guys. And I think this right here, this information today, explains a lot on why people are acting the way they are. So anyway, hope you all have a wonderful day. Talk to you later.